What's up, fellas? I want to talk about some key matchups of UFC Fight Night 251, Gregory Rodrigues versus Jared Cannonier. To start off at number 5, we've got Elijah Smith versus Vince Morales. This is a really fun matchup, mostly because it's Elijah Smith's debut fight. And coming into this, he came off Dana White's Contender Series just later this last year, and he really performed well on the Contender Series. He's got really fast hands, good takedown defense, and looks like a really fun prospect. Only 22 years old, reminds me a little bit of like a Joshua Van, and he's a bantamweight, so similar weight as well. These type figures, when they come in, they have that slick boxing and fun anti-wrestling. I absolutely love these guys. They make the UFC so much better, entertainment value, etc. So I'm really excited for that matchup. Vince Morales is 0-1. I don't see him doing much in this fight except for getting fucking caught. I don't think it'll be a finish. I think Vince Morales will last because he's pretty good at lasting. Pause. Give me Elijah Smith, probably by decision, unanimous. Swinging at number 4, we've got Ishmael Bonfim versus Nazim Sadikov. I'm only putting this here not because I'm an Ishmael Bonfim fan. I love the Brazilians, trust me, I do. You'll see it all over every list I do. I glaze the fuck out of them. It's no secret. But fuck Nazim Sadikov. I hate this man with every fiber of my being. Constant fence grabs, eye pokes. Refs just don't see when he commits fouls. It's just like they put a blindfold on. I really don't understand the bias from the referees when this sort of things happen. Give me Ishmael Bonfim by murder. I just think it'll be a murder. I pray it'll be just a flying knee to his fucking cranium and he's out and gone. I do think Ishmael Bonfim's very good. And I think Nazim Sadikov has skill, but I really just don't like him. I think he's a bad representative of a UFC fighter we want in the UFC, and I really hope he just has a huge downward trot from here. Cocky, cheating, don't like him. Get him out of here. We have him at number 4. Coming in with these next 3, these are all really key matchups. These guys all have future title implications if they can win these bouts. And I think that's why I really want to focus in on them. And at number 3, we've got Calvin Kattar versus Youssef Zalal. I do like Youssef Zalal. I think he's a very good talent. I think his comeback is absolutely otherworldly. But what are we doing thinking he's like this crazy guy? Oh, he almost beat Ilya. I'm sorry. It wasn't close. Ilya was coming into the UFC on a 1-week notice after having COVID. And Youssef Zalal was 3-0 in the UFC at this point. And let's not forget, he went on like a 2 or 3 fight losing streak to get out of the UFC. He's just coming back now, and everyone's glazing the hell out of him. I think Youssef Zalal is a very good talent. But if we're using Ilia Topuria as a reference page when he's at his least healthy, on short notice, taking a huge weight cut for his debut, and schools the hell out of Youssef Zalal in the fight, who was 3-0 in the UFC at the time, and we're going, oh, Youssef Zalal is this huge talent. He's even like saying in his interviews, he's like, they should make a movie about me on this comeback. I was out of the UFC a year and a half ago, and now I'm a co-main event. I'm sorry. They give co-main events to literal nobody women fighters. Let's get the fuck out of here with that shit. Calvin Kattar is a 4-1 underdog. What are we fucking doing? Aljamain Sterling couldn't submit him, and we're just throwing him to the win because we think he's going to get out-grappled. I think Youssef Zalal can win a decision against him or maybe fluke out some sort of finish, but I very highly doubt it. I think this will be a war. I think it'll be a really good fight. And I see a world where Kattar comes out on top or Zalal comes out on top. I think it'll be a lot more competitive than people are thinking. Prove me fucking wrong, though, Zalal. If you're really that fucking good, prove it. That's who I have at number 3 for my key matchups of UFC Fight Night 215. At number 2 for these key matchups, I've got Gabriel Bonfim, the second Gabriel Bonfim brother, the younger one of the bunch, against Khaos Williams. I do think Khaos Williams has real talent, and I'm surprised he's not ranked at the moment. He's a guy who's always been just in that top 20, 25 instead of that top 15 in welterweight. He's always just outside of it. He's really talented, got strong power, insane power, honestly, especially for a welterweight. I think this is a very key matchup because Gabriel Bonfim is definitely the more talented of the two brothers. He's younger. He even has almost more experience generally. I know he does have a loss on his record, but so does a lot of people in the UFC, especially this year. There's 10 fighters who were undefeated coming to this year so far that are now with a 1 on the record being a loss, which is crazy to me. Regardless of that, I think Gabriel Bonfim has a lot of talent, especially in the grappling, and I think he comes off with a huge win here and kind of cements himself as a guy who should be in the top 15 in the welterweight division. So I'm really excited for this matchup. At number 1, you know who it's gonna be. Gregory Rodrigues on the fucking shirt versus Jared Cannonier. This hurts me so bad because I love Jared Cannonier. I really do. The Killer Gorilla is probably my second or third favorite middleweight of all time. But too fucking bad. Gregory Rodrigues is my first. RoboCop's my favorite middleweight. No one's more exciting in the middleweight division. You can't give me a fucking argument for anyone else. The way he brings the pace, the way he brings the action, the way he gets finishes. I know he's been finished once at kind of a fluky knockout, but hey, it happens. It happened to a lot of people. It's happened to Alex Pereira, for fucking Christ's sakes. And that's hard to crack that guy's chin. I just really enjoy how he mixes the grappling, the striking, his takedown defense. He has pretty decent cardio even for his size. He cuts so much weight. I know this guy walks into the cage at like 215, 220. And I'm sure Jared Cannonier does too. Tell me this won't be a goddamn barn burner. Either of these guys get cracks in the first or second, you know they're getting right back up. As long as we don't have a really shitty referee. Get Jason Herzog or fucking Dan Mergliotta out of the cage. I don't want to see those fuckers. Put Mike Beltran in there. Mike Beltran knows how to watch a fucking fight. I've seen so many fights where there's barn burners, someone gets dropped, and Mike Beltran's still fucking halfway across the cage fucking making sure they're good, but not jumping the fuck in immediately. Jared Cannonier is ranked 7th in the middleweight division. Gregory Rodrigues is unranked. He should have gotten a ranked position so long ago, and I think the UFC recognizes that. So, considering he's 7-2 in the UFC, they're finally giving him that shot, and they're bumping him up to a fucking main event immediately, which is so fucking cool to me. It's an absolute answer to everything I've been wanting for so long. This guy just means violence, and so does the Killer Gorilla. If Jared Cannonier drops Greg Rodrigues and it goes to the floor, it'll be a fucking bloodbath, I think. But who's more credentialed than Greg Rodrigues on the ground? So I just can't wait to watch this matchup. I know you guys are fucking excited for it too. If you guys think I missed anyone in the key matchups, let me know. I really don't think I did. These are the only 5 that matter to me basically at all in the whole card. But considering these fights are better than the ones that are on the last pay-per-view, yeah, just tell me if I got any wrong. And y'all have a great day.